10, 9, 8, 7, 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1. Earth below us, drifting, falling, hurting, waiting, calling.
All right, well.
You guys get it. Hey! Well.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rich Alvarez channel. I was like, look over here. Look, the camera's here. Welcome to the Rich Alvarez channel and a very special Rich Alvarez live stream. Actually, funny story. This is our first live stream of the year.
It's almost the end of March, and this is the first time you've seen us in 2026.
We went a quarter of the year in without a single live stream. Yeah. Look, they're alive. Yes.
We're alive.
Yes, we are indeed. We are alive. It looks like it's a little bit of a mess over here. I didn't realize how much you guys could see of all of my desk. Chris, is there any way we could pull that camera in just a little bit closer?
Just a little bit closer. Yes. Here, I was worried that so I can manually zoom in or we can physically zoom in. I just didn't want you to bump your feet on the tripod or me to bump my feet on the tripod.
If we bump the tripod, it's okay.
So, hey, that actually looks kind of nice, I think. There's a delay for us. Please be patient as we figure out our technological differences for those of you that have seen Idiocracy. Oh, is it...
there we go. And focus.
You like it? Are we good?
Look at that.
It's actually pretty nice.
Ooh.
This feels a little comfy, a little intimate, a little cozy.
We're actually sitting
Hi.
exactly the same distance we were before, just now it's zoomed in.
It's like, I feel like now that it's close, it's like, hello, and welcome to the RichAlvarez NPR.
I apologize for the mess that you previously saw there. It's just my keyboard and some mouse pads and some things because I had to take my computer apart earlier. But now, hey, anyways, here. This is actually, I believe, we should always have it about this distance.
It does look good.
Because otherwise, it's like people are like seeing like, or like we're just like man spreading out here like what's up this looks more professional.
It does look good. It looks great. Well done, Rich. I like it. Anyway, hey.
Extreme close up. Whoa.
So thanks for joining, guys. Been a while. Appreciate you tuning in. You knew we couldn't let the new Mario movie come out without us doing a live stream.
Yeah, I think that was the final nail in the not the nail. We're not dead.
The final push.
The final push. Yeah, because it seems like every weekend we're like, oh, we should do a live stream, and then like something will come up, or we'll get busy with something, or sometimes we just don't want to do it because
we've either been tired, or we've been busy, or there wasn't enough interesting stuff to talk about. But this weekend, both of us were like, we're both free.
Yeah.
We both have energy. We've got a great topic. And if we don't talk about Mario now, it'll be after the movie came out, and then we won't do it.
Yeah. So Chris and I will actually both be seeing the Mario movie at some point this week. We're hoping to catch it opening day. We'll see.
Tentatively, yes, on Wednesday.
But
for us.
when what really did it for me was the Fox McCloud stuff. We'll get into that a little bit later. Before we talk about the Mario movie, though, Chris, we're going to do a little bit of a warm-up topic while people are still kind of filing in. And according to my hand, it's 31 people watching.
Oh, wow.
Currently.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up because that's how you feed the YouTube algorithm.
Correct.
And I think this, you guys probably know the drill, but we're basically just going to be going on, sharing our thoughts about all of our topics today, which include the Mario movie. If at any point you guys want us to read your comment, you are welcome to Super Chat. Those are very much appreciated. Otherwise, we're just going to kind of jump in and start off with our first topic, which is, drumroll please,
The Harry Potter Show on HBO.
The Harry Potter Show on HBO.
HBO Harry Potter Show is brought to you by HBO. We got a lot of things we want to talk about today. We're actually going to start with the Harry Potter Show. So the trailer dropped last week, and it looks amazing.
It does look really good.
And, I know a lot of people are like, oh, but the movies were so good. The movies are good. And guess what? You'll always have those movies. I never quite understand some of the logic behind people's like hatred of like remakes and things like that because, there are a lot of remakes of movies that are not very good. But guess what? You still have that original movie. That's there for forever. And sometimes these remakes end up being better than the original. It's, it feels like it's more rare, but there's like a lot of movies that are considered like classics, like John Carpenter's The Thing from the 80s. That's actually a remake of a much older black and white horror film.
Didn't even know that.
The Thing from Outer Space. It's a very different movie, but still, there's the cat. But still, that's a remake, and that is a dramatic improvement over the original. Now, with the show, we know that at least one thing will be true. Since each book will be an entire season, they now have no excuse to leave out little details like who created the Marauders map. Do you remember that back in the day?
Oh, yeah, or the entire Quidditch World Cup in Goblet of Fire, when in the movie, it was like a big build-up to it, and then it was over, and that was like such a cool part of the book.
Now,
So...
Yeah, the Goblet of Fire, it's crazy, right? I think it was my favorite book, and it became my least favorite movie because they just skipped
It's
through
a shame.
so much
Well,
stuff.
it's because the books got longer.
Yeah,
Whereas,
the
like,
Quidditch World Cup begins, and cut to, yay!
so, yeah, and I think going to what you were saying, so when I watched the trailer, I liked it, and I had to fight back against my initial gut reaction, which was my mind wanted to see the original people that I like. My mind was like, that doesn't look like Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like Emma Watson. That doesn't look like Rupert Grint. But I had to keep on saying, like, but that's okay. It's time for a new generation.
it's a different cast.
So I kept on, like, my mind kept on wanting to see them, and it was like off a little bit.
I know what you mean, though. Like, seeing the new Harry Potter kid in the thumbnail, it, like, messes with my
It's
mind.
like
I'm like, ooh, that's not Harry Potter.
It's like, in fact, a lot of people were making this joke that it was like discount Harry Potter. It's like, it doesn't look like real Harry Potter. It looks like discount Harry Potter. But it should actually be pretty good because, like Rich said, with the pacing of a TV show, you can include a lot of stuff that they didn't have time for, especially in the later books. And on top of that, did you want to talk about like the HBO look?
Oh yeah,
You
well,
had
there was
some cool
something I
thoughts
was
on that.
when I was
Yeah.
talking to Chris earlier about it. I said that it has that HBO sheen, and it's kind of hard to describe, but it's like, if you're familiar, obviously, with like Game of Thrones and those types of shows, there's a specific like look. And I know that every show has their own cinematographer, but like whatever cameras they use for HBO and the way that they're edited, there's a certain look to it where you could tell. Because like if you look back at like Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, it has a very early 2000s movie look to it, and you can always, movies have, very cinematic looks and everything. There's a specific look that I feel like you can only find in HBO prestige television that other shows have tried to copy. Like, there are shows that get close, like Severance. Severance has a similar sort of like look. And I really love, by the way, what's it called? The one with Harrison Ford and Jason Segel. Shrinking. Shrinking is a great show, and it also has an incredible look to it. But when you I said Shrinking already.
That was Sam in the background helping out.
She's probably watching the streaming delay. There's a
That makes
30-second delay. I got it already.
Thanks, Sam.
Anyways, yeah. A lot of shows on other networks or other streamers come close. But there's a specific look to HBO. And you could just tell it looks really, I'm just saying, it looks really good. I love Nick Frost as Hagrid. I thought that was really cool. The dynamic between the young castmates, it feels really good, feels really fresh. I'm excited.
It does feel exciting to be back in that world again. Because remember, the last Deathly Hallows movie came out in 2011. It's been 15 years. 15 years.
Yeah,
It's
15
like that's a
years since the last
whole
one.
generation has passed since, the...
Not counting those terrible Fantastic Beasts movies, right?
I saw the first one and I didn't see the rest.
Yeah, same here.
So, but I think enough time has passed for us to be ready to revisit that world again. So I'm excited. I'm going in optimistic. I think it's going to be good, and it comes out this year
At
during
the end of the
Christmas,
year,
right?
yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's not even that far away.
I would say I'm looking forward to everybody in there. Also, I mentioned John Lithgow is playing Dumbledore, and I love John Lithgow. I was a big fan of Third Rock from the Sun back in the day. I loved him on Dexter. If you've seen it, and I loved him as Churchill in The Crown. That was a great performance, and I feel like him as Churchill in The Crown is what won him this role in a weird way, because they have a very strict rule.
Oh, you were talking about
that.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only British actors can play these parts. But John Lithgow is an American, but he won several British awards for his portrayal of Winston Churchill on The Crown. And I think they were like, well, he's done British cinema before. And he's a fantastic actor, and he looks like he could be Dumbledore, and there's one shot of him in the trailer with his wand, and he looks great. I love it. I think that's great casting. I wish they could just film all his scenes for the entire series now, though, because John Lithgow is already 80 years old. Now, remember, I love, Richard Harris as Dumbledore in the first two movies, but then sadly he passed away, and he was replaced with Michael Gambon. And it took a few movies for me to get used to Michael Gambon, but then eventually I thought that Michael Gambon was great, and he was able to finish his run as Dumbledore, but then he also sadly passed after that. Like, what I'm wondering is, are we going to create a situation now where we have to switch up Dumbledores again halfway through the show? Maybe a couple of times. Because I don't know if they're going to be doing this every year. It might be like every other year. And if we're only getting one season every other year, we're talking about 14 years before this show is over. Is John Lithgow going to be able to play Dumbledore when he's 94? And is he going to be able to live to 94?
That's a very good point.
Mel Brooks is, 100 years old, so...
Literally. And he's still cranking out movies. Quick shout out to our admins in the chat. We got Sam, who said hello, and Scott Otter, who jumped in and
Ooh.
said Harry and the Hendersons.
Yes, that's another John Lithgow movie. Great choice. Good
to see you, Scott. Thanks for joining us.
He was also the villain in Cliffhanger. I don't know if I mentioned that before.
See, Scott
John
said...
Lithgow will outlive us all. Okay. Well, I think that's good for Harry Potter. Do we want to move on to our main topic?
Yes. So now that we've warmed up with Harry Potter, we now get to our feature topic of the day.
And now our feature presentation.
So, it's been 3 years since the original Mario movie
It's
came
been
out
3
in 2023.
years.
And now we got the Mario Galaxy movie coming out in just a few short days. In fact, there might even be some place... I think that Miyamoto did a special there's been advanced screenings, I think.
Miyamoto.
Anyway, long story short, for us average folk, it's coming out this week, and we're
Right.
very excited for it. And we have a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
So
we don't have those special connections anymore that would have let us see it in a screening with other YouTubers a week in advance,
good times. Not those times anymore, but good times.
Well, anyways, I'm really excited for this movie. I might even be more excited for this one than I was for the first one, because I don't know if you remember, but when we went into the first one, we were like, well...
We weren't sure what to expect.
It's this is the Minion people, Illumination, doing Mario. And, it's funny, 3 years ago, I really didn't care for the Minions, and I had never seen a Despicable Me movie, actually. But now I've got, kids and stepkids, and so I've probably seen each Despicable Me movie and Minions movie, 10 times over a pop. And you know what? They're actually pretty good. I think Steve Carell does a pretty good job. And Illumination does a really good job. Anyways, but I loved what they did with the first movie. I was so pleasantly surprised by the first Mario movie. I loved it. And so now that my expectations were set from that first movie, knowing what's going to be in this second movie, I think I'm more excited for this second movie. It seems like it's going to be really great. Though I know that some fans, I don't know, might be a little bit but they're not quite following the story of Super Mario Galaxy. Now, let me reiterate this, because I've reiterated this to death in the past for various reasons. The Mario video games, as my friend Corey would say, it's not Ulysses. The stories in those games are not very complex. It's save the princess, usually. Save this kingdom. Now there's a space princess. Save the galaxy for her. It's not going to be an A to A. They're obviously taking things like Bowser Jr. from Sunshine and some worlds from Sunshine, and they're taking elements from all over the place. Just like they did with the first Mario movie, honestly. So it's not going to be a 1-to-1 story-wise for the Galaxy game, but I think what they're doing is. It obviously Rosalina's in it, and that's going to involve the Galaxy. In fact, it's going to involve the Galaxy so much that that's how they're able to introduce characters like Fox McCloud, which is really the whole reason why we're doing this stream in the first place. Because I almost did a little YouTube short and then I didn't. And then they announced Glenn Powell was going to be voicing Fox, and I almost did a short again, but then I was like, well, I think we're going to stream in a couple days, so I might as well save it for that.
So, Rich, Glenn Powell, what are some of the movies he's the most famous for?
If you've been living under a rock for the last 2 years, you might have missed out on Glenn Powell. So Glenn Powell came to, I would say, prominence mostly when he was featured in the new Top Gun. It's already a few years old now. Top Gun Maverick. He was the young, cocky asshole character, blonde hair, who was just like, I'm gonna be the best because I'm the best. So he was kind of like the
new Iceman.
Yeah, he was the new Iceman of that movie. But if you've seen the movie, he ends up being a pretty good guy in the end, and it's great stuff. And then he's gone on to do all kinds of fun stuff. He was in the new Running Man movie, taking over the Schwarzenegger part.
I didn't see that one.
And unlike the original movie, which I still love the Schwarzenegger movie, this one was actually produced by Stephen King as well, because it's based off his book,
Okay.
And it's way more accurate to the source material, of course. And I thought Glenn Powell did an amazing job. And he seems to also do these, like, if he was in a movie called Hitman, where he gets to put on different disguises and be different personas and have different accents and things. And I really feel like that movie was just his excuse to show off his different acting styles. But he's so good in it. Thank you, Scott Otter. Says, buy yourself some Sour Patch Kids when you see it. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. You are awesome.
He was also in a show called Chad Powers, where he puts on a fake nose and prosthetics and pretends to be a different person. He's really good at these character things.
And he was also in the rom-com Anyone But You with Sydney Sweeney a couple years ago.
Yes,
so he's been doing a lot.
But I mean, he's been all over the place.
Another super chat.
Thank you, August Babington. Says, side topic, favorite Polar Seltzer water flavor. Have you tried toasted coconut?
I didn't know that was a flavor. Is toasted coconut a real flavor?
It is. I just saw it at the store actually when I picked these up.
Wow.
It's typically, what's funny? It's like,
this is my one. I don't know if you guys are going to see it, but it's raspberry lime.
Yeah, I'm drinking
so that would
raspberry
be
lime.
my answer.
I think either raspberry lime or just lemon lime or lemon or lime. Those are my favorites. Pretty much, I think 80% of the seltzers I drink are just lime flavored. But I think probably raspberry lime is my favorite. It's just that you can buy lime flavored in bulk. Like at Safeway, you can get a 24-pack of lime flavored seltzers for $6, which is way cheaper than anything else. Because as you guys know, for some reason, most seltzer companies, including Polar, come in 8-packs, confusingly. Like a pack of 8, because they hate us. So yeah, you get a 24-pack of lime-flavored seltzers at Safeway for $6. It's the best deal. So I drink mostly lime, but I'd probably say raspberry lime Polar is probably my favorite.
Yeah, I'd say maybe a close second would be cranberry. Other ones I really like is LaCroix has a key lime, which tastes like Starburst or Skittles. It's really good.
Well,
but anyway, thank you for the super chat. That was good conversation topic.
Glenn Powell did a little video a couple days ago where he was himself, but in the Star Fox jacket and posing and looking all cool with his mustache. I thought that was really cool. I can't wait. When they first announced Fox, I was like, oh, he'll probably have a scene. But then it was Glenn Powell. So he's got to have at least a couple scenes. You don't cast Glenn Powell unless it's a significant thing. I'm really excited because of all of the implications that go along with that, as we were talking about earlier. It's like, I don't know. Where do I even begin? First of all, at least as far as Fox McCloud from Star Fox is concerned, guys, I'm a huge Star Fox fan. I remember playing the original and thinking it looked really weird on the Super Nintendo, where it's with the Super FX chip on the Super Nintendo. And I thought that was a lot of fun, even though I thought it was a really strange game. And then they tested, I think it was the first Nintendo 64 game to come with the Rumble Pack, Star Fox 64. And so obviously that's the one that most people remember, I think, like Kevin saying, do a barrel roll. Man, Star Fox is so much fun, and you can beat that game in a couple hours, oh, but if you want to like do all the pathways, you got to spend time figuring out how to get, the alternate path routes and stuff.
Nice.
Star Fox 64 is probably the best of the series still, at least in my old ass opinion. I don't know. I had some fun with the other games. There was low points like Star Fox Adventures.
Oh, jeez.
But there's been some good Star Fox games. Anyways, I love Star Fox though, and I'm really excited. I have been saying Star Fox movie for years. Some of you guys know I said this like 10 years ago after Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one came out with Rocket Raccoon.
Oh,
I was
right.
like, okay, well, if we can do that with Rocket Raccoon, we can do that with Star Fox, because they could just, do that same sort of, mocap technology now that we can do realistic like fur and stuff like that. Of course, now we're getting him in the Mario movie as more of a CG cartoon character, and that's awesome too.
Yeah.
But I'm just excited. I hope that this will lead to a Star Fox movie. That would be great. But the bigger implication is that, okay, we're putting Star Fox in a Mario movie. Will this maybe eventually lead to a Smash Bros. Movie?
That's what we were talking about. Is it really the Super Mario movie, or is it the Super Smash Bros. Movie?
And again, since since Smash Bros. Doesn't really have a cohesive plot either, Illumination could just do whatever they want with it. Now, I had mentioned this to Chris earlier, but since the live-action Zelda movie is being filmed right now and kind of happening on its own, I don't think that Link would be in... I don't think Link's going to show up in this Mario movie. And I feel like at this point, they probably just want to keep that separate now that they're going the live-action route. And that makes sense. They should go the live-action route with Zelda. Zelda deserves the live-action route because it is high fantasy like that, But, Mario, Fox McCloud, maybe these things work better in a cartoon setting, and that's fine. So, we could get a Smash Bros. Movie. I wouldn't expect Link to be in it, but man, we're going to have Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, Fox McCloud, Princess Peach, Rosalina, Bowser. I mean, you got half the roster
Yoshi.
in there already. Yoshi, so, I mean, you might as well, put, Ness and Captain Falcon in there, and you got yourself a team.
Yeah, and, one of the things I thought was interesting is... when they announced Donkey Kong was going to be in the original Mario movie, of course, there was the tie-in with Donkey Kong Bonanza. So they were hyping up Donkey Kong again and getting ready for a big Donkey Kong Switch game release. So, of course, a lot of people are starting to ask, is there another really big Star Fox game in the works? There's even been rumors, potential leaks that you guys might have heard about. You never know if these leaks are true or not. Sometimes it might be people making them up.
Right. Because that
yeah.
Miyamoto's because he's a producer on the movie, he was like, oh, we got to put Fox in this movie because we got a Star Fox game coming out.
A brand new Star Fox
game. And I mean,
yeah.
it's about time anyway, It's about time you showed up, Fox. I wasn't trying to make a reference originally, but then it was.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. And speaking of Miyamoto, I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was
So real quick, Marty Man says, but DK was a Mario character, and actually, technically, Mario is a DK character because Donkey Kong was the game.
That's right. What was the name? What was the first game called? Was it called Mario or was it called Donkey Kong? That's right. It was called Donkey Kong.
In case it wasn't clear, I birthed your career. Or
Mario versus DK rap.
But yeah, technically Mario is a DK character first.
We even made that joke again in the Gangnam Style. I'm Mario, been kicking ass since 81. No, not 85, because I was in Donkey Kong, fool.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys know. You know the lore. So, so going to Miyamoto, he had a cool thing that he said. It was either yesterday or today where basically he gave a challenge to all the Nintendo fans where he said there are so many Mario characters that make cameos in this movie, the Mario Galaxy movie. He basically set a challenge out to count how many you guys can see. So at first I was like, because he mentioned it was for the 40th year Mario anniversary, I was thinking, oh, there's probably like 40. But then Rich was like, no, there's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Like, think of every obscure Mario character there's ever been in any spin-off. They'll probably be there.
I think we're going to see scenes like, and I'm kind of reminded of the last Spider-Man cartoon, where they show all the multiversal Spider-Man and there's 100 of. I feel like we're gonna see big,
something like that,
big pan outs, and it'll be like Where's Waldo of finding your Mario characters, you know?
You know, there's going to be so many YouTube video essays of like brand new character found in obscure split second scene when they showed multiverse jumping or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's going to be good.
So, do we want to talk about the potential of Wario showing up in this movie? Because there's been obviously a rumor,
Let's hear it.
and I don't think anybody has said anything official because we haven't gotten like a thing for Wario like the Star Fox poster that they put out. You know, like do you guys think that Wario is going to be in this movie? And if so, who do you think is going to voice him? Personally, I was telling Chris I would love someone like Benicio del Toro to
That'd be
voice
cool.
Wario. Someone like that, or like, you know, but, you know, probably be like Pedro Pascal because he's obligated to be in every movie ever now, apparently.
That's
but
true.
I would love a Benicio del Toro like Wario. I just think that would be really cool. I would have cast Benicio del Toro as Wario in my own show, but instead I was friends with Matt Provenzel.
That's pretty good.
No, Matt did a great job, obviously, but yeah, I think my dream fan casting would be Benicio del Toro for this movie if he shows up, and if he shows up, don't expect Waluigi because remember Waluigi's not even a real Mario character. He's only ever been in like party games.
Oh,
and
he's
sports
like
games.
spin-off stuff.
I don't think that Waluigi has ever been acknowledged in like a mainline game, but Wario has, you know. So
True.
Danny DeVito Wario.
I was actually thinking
Hey,
that too.
Mario, it's me.
Yeah, Kylito Newt. That was a great suggestion. I was also thinking of Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito as everything.
Yeah, that's good. Cool. So we're excited. Who do you think the post-credit character could be? Because in the first one, it was Yoshi. So now, we got a super chat.
Oh, Paula XYS says still waiting for UPS and FedEx guy cameos. Oh, in
In the Mario movie, it's FedEx and UPS.
Let me put it this way: in the first Mario movie, they're like, well, if it isn't the stupid Mario Brothers, you know, and we thought that was plagiarism, but you know, we also stole from them. So, you know,
I mean, I've just felt honored that they might maybe have referenced us.
let me put it this way: if they actually use like mail, it doesn't have to even be UPS and FedEx. If there's like a fight between two postal workers in this movie, then they stole it from us.
You know that one of the screenwriters is a fan of stupid. See, that's the thing I'm wondering. So you guys will have to keep an eye out for this. Literally calling them the stupid Mario Bros with the well, which also was what Matt did as Wario when he said, you guys saw our short on that. That felt like a very, like, intentional reference to Stupid Mario Bros. So I guess we'll have to see if there's another one. You guys will have to be the judge of that.
I think that for the secret cameo at the end, if Wario is not in the movie itself, then he would probably be the cameo at the end.
It feels like Wario would make sense because we already had Donkey Kong. We've got Fox. Wario is like the next guy that could sort of be, you know, like an anti-hero, bad guy, but not super bad.
And if Wario is in the movie, then logically Princess Daisy would be like the next direction to go.
That's true, yeah.
I'm going to say Wario or Princess Daisy. I know a lot of people are saying things like Kirby, but I think it's going to be another Mario character. It's got to be another Mario character teased at the end because, you know. There's Wario, Daisy. Who else would be... I think that's it.
So here's another thought I had. In the first movie, they played a famous 80s song, Take On Me, during the Donkey Kong car driving scene. I predict there will be another scene where they have a montage and they play a famous 80s song. What other famous 80s songs do you think...
Take it to the limit, past the point of no return.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
What do you guys think in the chat? If they do another famous 80s song, what do you think might show up? You know, part of me wants to say, because I was thinking, what did we use in our show? Part of me is wondering if they'd use Head Over Heels. But actually, I agree with Kevin Chamberlain. And Kevin, thanks for joining. The Final Countdown feels more...
It's the final
like
countdown.
a way that they would build it up, because that's a more iconic song, whereas Head Over Heels is kind of a love song.
I mean, honestly, it just depends on what the context is. I don't know what Like, the funny thing is, like, I know they use the Final Countdown a lot for build-up stuff, but ultimately, the Final Countdown isn't fast enough to actually be
That's
a battle
true.
song.
Yeah.
Because, it's pretty, like, medium pace, where it's just, like, something that is, like, more of, like, a, like, montage-y song would be, I need something to be, like, 150 beats a second.
Yeah,
That's
more
what
upbeat.
take me to the limit. Past the point of no return. That's the montage from Scarface.
Yeah, yeah.
He's counting money, smoking cigarettes. Good
Well,
stuff.
I predict that there will be a famous 80s song playing. I don't know which one.
Good one too. Holding out for a hero. I'm holding out for a hero in the end of the.
Yeah. Everybody Wants to Know the World is a good one too, but I just don't. Well.
Oh, that was in the first movie, I think. Holding out for a hero. That during his training.
Yeah, the training. Oh, there were
that's it.
two.
Yeah.
Wait, is that an 80s song also? Or was that a...
I think that's 80s or
Okay.
90s.
Yeah. Well, either way, there's probably going to... I mean, for all we know, maybe it'll be a 90s song, but I think there will be more famous
Do you think that
pop
there's
songs.
any context for Stepping Out by Joe Jackson?
Actually, that would have made more sense because it sounds like a Mario Kart song.
Stepping out. If you know what you know,
Into
right?
the night.
Into the light, me babe, stepping out. Into the night, into the light. Look up Stepping Out by Joe Jackson.
Not to be confused with Michael Jackson's
No, yeah.
dad, Joe Jackson, the famous British singer, Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
If you listen to it, it will sound like a Mario Kart song, but it came out before Mario Kart. It's totally going to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Calling it here.
So anyways.
Oh, somebody said a Sonic cameo.
No.
Would that work? Or
I think that
is the IP sharing
Yeah, so what
too
happened
complicated?
is like, yeah, you could have Sonic in like things like Wreck-It Ralph before they started making Sonic movies,
Yeah.
because they was like licensing. But the Sonic movies are made by Paramount, and Illumination, who makes the Mario movies, is owned by Universal. It would be expensive as all hell to get a licensing deal made to have him cameo, even if he's more video game Sonic than like the movie Sonic.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think we're going to see Sonic. No.
They've already got so many characters.
That would be
in the show.
complicated.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, what else about the Mario movie? Have we gone through all of our checklists?
We've covered our main points. I guess, is there anything you're hoping for in this movie?
I
Or-
don't see any Donkey Kong in any of the promotional materials or trailers. I'm just wondering if Seth Rogen will return as Donkey Kong, or are they still going to do the solo Donkey Kong movie?
That's right. Yeah. My prediction is there'll probably be a brief cameo with him, just so that it's like, hey guys, remember Donkey Kong exists? But I think that Fox will probably be the main, like, new character.
Thank you, Philip XOXO, for your generous super chat. Says, thank you guys for entertaining me so much as a child with Stupid Mario Bros. What were some of your favorite parts of making the series?
Good question. But thank you very much for the super chat.
Thank you so much. My favorite part of the series was just hanging out with my friends.
Ooh, that's really good. My favorite part was hanging out with my friends too. But I'll mention a couple specific moments that stood out to me. Number one, I've always mentioned this, the JMK episode when we first introduced Scott Masterson. That was really fun because we just had a blast. Number two was when we made Super Mario Bros. The movie, specifically Act 1, when we did the montage of all of our shows getting weaved together. So when we had a YouTube News and a Harry Potter sketch and a Smashing Stuff episode, and then it all, it was like and Monster Mower. So we blended together a bunch of our favorite hits, and it, anyway.
We were doing a combined universe before it was cool.
Yeah, we were doing, exactly. Most ambitious thing since Avengers before Avengers. But anyway.
RichAlvarez cinematic universe.
But at the end of the day, like Rich said, it was just having fun with our friends, and then secondarily, reading your guys' comments saying you enjoyed it. So that was fun too.
Philip XOXO, thanks again for your super chat. You mentioned Scott Masterson. I watched that not too long ago. I was showing my stepkids one of the episodes, and there's a moment where Scott's like right in your face, He's like, we're already 10 minutes late, Luigi, what are you going to do? Like,
And I start laughing at one of the bloopers, right?
It's just like, because with Scott, you never know what he's going to do. He's so random. I hope he's still here. He was here in the stream. I think he's like, I think he's the funniest person I've ever worked with. It just like, you know, like a lot of times, we, a lot of us had no experience. We'd had people like Matt who'd done musical theater for years, same as me, and like Doug and Chris to an extent. But then there was a lot of our friends that we just thought kind of looked like the characters. Sometimes we didn't cast very well. We either like, we're like, this guy could look like this character, or hey, this person has this costume. But so sometimes it would be like, either I would have to direct them, like I would have to tell them exactly what to say it, how to move, like really get into the nitty gritties. And then some people like Scott, I would just say, here's this line. And sometimes he would say something completely different. And I'd be like, that's the one that works better. Actually,
it was good.
I love it. I mean, that's what actors are supposed to do. They're supposed to take the script and forget it. And just, like you use your character to like, and he, I never had to tell him. I don't think I ever had to tell Scott what to do or where to stand or anything. He would just do it. Like, I remember when we were doing an episode of The Plumber Night, and I was like, okay, so here, and I'm about to explain. He's like, all right, I got it. I'm the mayor, and I'm sitting behind the desk, and all right, just let me do my thing, right? And he gets back there, and he's like, all right, like.
Scott's still watching. You see what he said? Richie is trying to get more super chats out of me, but he left a heart, so it's probably working.
Well,
we miss you, Scott.
I'm glad that you're here, Scott. Truly one of the greatest, just the greatest times ever. Was all the multiple times that we worked together, and I hung out with Scott a little bit last year. It was a lot of fun, and what a great guy.
He's a great guy.
Here's to you, Scott.
Anyway, so we were talking about other hopes for the movie. I think ultimately they did a really good job on the first movie. I went in and I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it, because I remember being a little worried that like Chris Pratt not doing an accent would be a little hard to get used to. But
that was easy for me to get used to.
It felt super easy to get used to, and it really did feel like the writers who wrote the script, you could tell that they were fans of the Mario universe and like really cared about trying to honor the franchise. It really, I used to say this about Super Mario Bros., but I'll say it about the Mario movie. It really felt like a love letter to Nintendo fans. So
yeah.
I'm feeling like it's in good hands. They're going to do a good job. I think we're all going to love it.
I mean, it's one of those things where, some people were annoyed at first that it wasn't Charles Martinet or that he wasn't trying to do an accent. But I think it makes sense because I love Charles Martinet, and, he's retired now. And I do love the Mario voice, but even before Charles Martinet became the voice of Mario, we had Mario cartoons where he either had no accent or had the Brooklyn accent because they're from Brooklyn. So like, hey, Luigi, come on, because in Italian American doesn't really sound like it is. That's like, it's kind of getting into like the negative stereotype of it.
Yeah, no, I know. It'd
like,
be more like just an East Coast, like,
yeah,
Brooklyn
they all
accent,
like, hey, like you guys have seen The Sopranos, like, hey, I want my sandwich on rye, pastrami, no mustard, like. When I think, and we are both Italian, by the way, but when I think of like Italian Americans, I'm thinking, yeah, like Jersey, Brooklyn, New York, like that's what I'm thinking of. So I would expect, and you remember his parents in the movie have Brooklyn accents.
That's right. Yeah.
He's kind of doing a little bit of a Brooklyn accent, so I always thought, yeah, in the Lou Albino show, like Kevin's saying, like he did the Brooklyn accent, and then the cartoons always had the Brooklyn accent. For whatever reason, they wanted Charles Martinet to do like the heavily stylized, like Italian accent, which again, iconic, right? But remember, we're doing a movie, and when you're doing a movie, you have to have things actually make a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
And so it made sense for him to not have that accent.
Because exactly. Because hearing a few little sound bites of Mario saying "It's a me, a Mario," in like a Nintendo 64 game is different from like a character that's going to be doing a lot of dialogue, a lot of talking, and at some point it's going to get kind of annoying, or it's going to break your immersion.
I mean, for example, and we used to get asked this question all the time. For our own show, Stupid Mario Brothers, obviously we attempted to do the accent.
And our accent's even kind of as people said,
fluctuated.
would kind of go and weave back and
go a
forth.
little Irish.
A little Irish or too Italian. Or then
It's
it kind of
just-
was our own weird thing because it's hard to have a conversation doing that accent.
It's an impossible voice to maintain throughout all emotions because it's not a real voice,
Yeah.
you know? So, like, I think that, like, when we did what was going to be titled The Young Teen Mario Bros, right? We thought that the accents were funny because, I mean, especially, I thought we were making a video. I thought we were making one video. If I had known that we'd go, like, 5 seasons, 3 spinoffs, 2 movies, whatever, I would have vetoed the accent immediately, you know?
or did what they did and made a joke about it. Ooh, we just got another super chat.
Thank you, For Kaiju, for your generous super chat. For Kaiju says, will you or have you ever thought about doing a Stupid Mario Bros. Webcomic? Much love. Thank you guys for the amazing memories. You know, here's the funny thing. I actually have written a couple, but I'm not like, I'm a good writer. I'm a writer. I guess I can't say I'm a good writer. Chris can say I'm a good writer because he's not me. Am I a good writer?
Rich is a fantastic writer. You are a good writer. I mean that sincerely.
Thanks, Chris. Here's your chocolate bar.
Ooh, yummy.
Anyways, I've written comics, but I love comics so much. I wish I could draw them. But now, and some people might get upset about this, I've been thinking about this with the power of ChatGPT and other AI software.
I was like, I never thought about it until AI.
I feel like I could have just an AI like do the art for my writing. But again, I haven't done that yet because I feel like a lot of people be like, oh, you didn't get like a real artist. But it's like every artist I've talked to wants like 70%. And it's like, I'm not going to do that.
So I think realistically, have we thought about doing some kind of a Stupid Mario Bros. Spin-off in some form or another? Yeah, that thought comes up every once in a while. Will we do it? Probably not. The most you guys would probably see is maybe a rando sketch like we did a few years ago when we were the Mario Godfather crossover,
Mario Godfather,
which I really did enjoy quite a bit. But you never know. With AI, it might be like 4 o'clock in the morning and Rich is bored and I'll wake up and I'll have like an entire graphic novel that was created by ChatGPT's whatever image graphical stuff. So you never know.
I like the John Campea approach. I know that I reference him a lot. I listen to him all the time. I like the John Campea approach to AI. Because I used to be that way. I used to get mad, like, oh, AI is going to ruin art. It's going to ruin, you know. But the truth is, AI is here, and it's here to stay, and we better just get used to it and find ways to help incorporate it into our lives to help us. And we better be nice to it. Remember, every time you ask ChatGPT something and then they do it for you, please say please and thank you, so we can avoid the Terminator uprising.
No, there was that. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it was like a parody of like Terminator and Skynet. And, you know, the robots are like, you know, rounding people up. And then one of them's like, wait a minute. He said, please, he can go.
Yeah. But if you guys
So
are
always say
seriously
please.
like open to the idea of like a Stupid Mario Bros. Comic, I mean, gosh, I have like tons of scripts we never did because they're going to be way too expensive for us to film. Or ideas that are just sitting there. I have 3 scripts finished for Stupid Mario Vampire Hunter with AI, with the power of artificial intelligence. Let me just put it to you guys this way, and let me know what you think. Would you rather never experience Stupid Mario Vampire Hunter or just deal with an AI-created art piece of it? Let me know. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I mean, it's an interesting point.
It's an interesting concept.
Mm-hmm. So, where are we on this news?
Oh yeah, well we were talking about the accents, and then we did the super chat. Thank you again, generous super chat. So I guess it's just final thoughts on Mario movie. Any other hopes? Any other things we want? I mean, I feel like we did a pretty good job covering all the stuff. You know, we talked about the Smash universe. We talked about Star Fox. We talked about Donkey Kong. We talked about Miyamoto. We talked about Wario. We talked about the 80s music. We talked about the accents. I think we did a pretty darn good job. All right, I think I'm good to move on.
Okay, let's move. I see a lot of no AI, so I guess it's just not going to happen.
All right. Do we want to briefly talk about Nintendo news? As a bit of a like?
I
this,
mean, I think we already mentioned that Ocarina of Time.
We have not mentioned that yet.
There's a rumor that Ocarina of Time might be remade before the end of the year, but again, I feel like Ocarina of Time remake rumors happen all
they happen
the time.
every console. Yeah,
yeah, we'll see.
I would say I do think a Ocarina of Time remake where they like try and push the graphics to the fullest on the Switch too. I think that would be awesome. I hope they do it. I would love to replay that game with like pristine like HD graphics. So we'll see, but I hope that that's true. And there was actually some interesting stuff. You guys might have seen it posted online where people were doing like Unreal Engine reimagines. I mean, they've been doing that for a while, but there was a new one for Ocarina of Time that looked really, really, really good. So I mean, I hope they do it. I think it would be awesome. All right. I mean, there's other. Oh,
nothing else to add.
Did you want to talk about the Zelda movie? Speaking of Zelda,
I mean, yeah, they're filming the Zelda movie, but we don't really know a whole lot about it other than remember when they showed us the photos of the people they had cast as Link and Zelda. But I think that's about all we know, as far as I know. They did. There was a leak last week of a few more pictures from it, but
nothing super exciting yet.
There'll be more to report when there's more to report. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right now it's Mario movies, what everyone's focusing on. Zelda, we'll do that later.
You know, it's like, again, the Zelda movie is made by a different production company, so don't, and it's also still in the middle of filming. If it was already finished wrapping filming, I would expect them some way, somehow to put the Zelda trailer before the Mario movie, but they're not at that stage yet, so, but that would have been cool, huh? Pokemon. Did you want to briefly mention Pokemon?
Briefly, yeah. So they announced the next gen of Pokemon. It's going to be, I think it's Wind and Wave. It's like beach themed, which is interesting because Sun and Moon were like beach themed. Although I think this one is like actually in the ocean instead of being on an island. I am excited about that. I don't honestly know if I will end up playing it. I'll probably watch some people on Twitch or YouTube play it because I don't have time to lose myself in a Pokemon game. But it did look cool. I mean, you guys know me. I'm a sucker for the beach tropical stuff. That's why Mario Sunshine is my favorite game. So it looked good. It looked promising. I like it. That's all I got. That's all I got to say about that.
Thanks, Forrest Gump.
All right. I think I wanted to briefly talk about Legend of California, if that's okay.
Oh yeah.
So can I set the premise?
You
guys, I don't know if you guys followed this, but a week or two ago, Jeff Kaplan, who was at Blizzard, the company that was famous for World of Warcraft and StarCraft and Overwatch and a bunch of other things, Jeff Kaplan left Blizzard a few years ago and then did a 4-hour long podcast with Lex Friedman. And it was really, really, really interesting. Obviously, there was a lot of drama behind the scenes about why he left Blizzard. But the most interesting part of it was he talked about a new game that he's creating called The Legend of California. And it looks really, really cool. It looks a little bit like Rust meets Red Dead Redemption meets maybe Valheim. It's like a survival game, but there's action, there's crafting, there's PvP. It looks really, really good. He's talking about it, and you can tell he's extremely passionate about trying to make a game that's a really good experience for the players. So it's called Legend of California. It looks really cool. You guys should check out the trailer if you haven't, but I would say as far as indie games go, I would say I'm very excited for that one. And I showed Rich. And
it looks amazing.
You thought it was pretty cool, right?
I'm a big fan. Some of you guys may not know this. I'm a big fan of Westerns and, Red Dead Redemption and, Clint Eastwood, hey, Blondie. Oh, man.
Yeah.
But,
So
oh, man, and I was just watching Deadwood last night. I was talking about that.
That's right.
I'm really excited for this game. Chris and I both played the old Oregon Trail games, and, especially Oregon Trail 2. Howdy, partner, could I interest you in some more packages and supplies?
So good.
And it was like this.
Iconic.
Weird,
the music was super iconic.
Oh, man. And 1880. By the way, you don't have to have watched Yellowstone to watch the prequel 1883. Not to be confused with the other prequel starring Harrison Ford, 1923. Watch 1883. It is the greatest depiction of the Oregon Trail on film. If you love Old West stuff and you love the Oregon Trail stuff and you want to see a bunch of folks try to cross the country and get cholera and everything else, nothing has ever personified it on screen better than 1883. That is the dream Oregon Trail show that I always wanted. It's perfect.
I did watch half of that with you. I need to finish it, but it was pretty good. I liked it. But anyway, just finishing up thoughts on Legend of California. The reason why it's called The Legend of California is it's in an alternate mythical universe where California is like an island, so it's not connected to the United States.
It's like a fantasy version of California.
It's like a fantasy version of California.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
In like the Wild West, and the world regenerates every month, which I guess I've never played Rust, but I've heard that it's a super popular survival game where like the world resets every month. So that happens. And, like, it auto-regenerates. So, like, Yellowstone might be in one area, and Alcatraz might be in another area, and the Mojave Desert might be in another area, and then they, like, rotate around. It looks really cool. I think if you guys like Westerns or, like, survival craft games, it definitely looked like right up your alley if that's your interest. So keep that on the radar for fun games this year or next year or whenever it's going to release.
I'm super looking forward to it.
All right. I know that we have some movie stuff we want to talk about. I just wanted to very briefly mention anime news. Frieren Season 2 and Frieren Season 1 have officially become the highest rated anime of all time on my anime list, beating other popular anime like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is pretty wild. So I just wanted to just briefly say I've been watching Frieren Season 2. It is a really good anime, and if you guys haven't watched it, I recommend it. You'll love it.
You'll love it, apparently.
Yeah. So that's it for anime news. So, Rich, did you have anything else you wanted to do before we jump into our big final movie stuff? All right, take it away, Rich.
Okay, so the latest in Marvel news. Now, I want to preface this first by saying, obviously, lifelong Marvel fan, as many of you probably know. I love Marvel, and I, am not a bandwagon fan. I am, and if you don't know what that means, bandwagon is like somebody who only comes on when it's good. It's
I am a bandwagon fan. I only come on when it's good.
It's like,
but Rich is not.
I mean, I grew up with the comics, Spider-Man, the animated series, X-Men, the animated series, and, just loved, man, when we first got that first X-Men movie, it's like so exciting to see them on screen. Even though their costumes were wrong, but it didn't matter because that's all we had. I've been a huge fan of the MCU ups and downs, and it's just funny because there were a few years there after Endgame where it was a little hit and miss, and a lot of people started like, oh, it's comic book movie fatigue. And thankfully, and John Campea had a whole thing about this the other day, there's no such thing as comic book movie fatigue. There never was such a thing as comic book movie fatigue, just mediocre movie fatigue. Because
that's a good perspective.
Because at some point, and I know that there was like some shakeups at Disney, like when Bob Iger initially stepped down, and then the other guy took over, and then Feige was getting frustrated because the mandate got higher. They had to produce X amount of shows and X amount of movies. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of reasons why. You can watch other people's videos on that if you want to, but the point is quality control is back. Ever since Deadpool and Wolverine, quality control has been back, and I believe that everything Deadpool and Wolverine onward has been fantastic. Agatha, fantastic. Daredevil, fantastic. Wonder Man, maybe the best Marvel show ever. Thunderbolts, fantastic. Fantastic Four, fantastic. And I think it's a no-brainer that everybody's kind of getting back on the Marvel train when the Spider-Man trailer last week broke records and got over 1 billion views and like tripled the view count from the Endgame trailer. I think it's pretty amazing.
Man, and that's so crazy. When you told me it got 1 billion views, I remember back in 2012 when Gangnam Style was the first YouTube video to ever hit 1 billion views, and it took months for it to get to that, and it was a big deal. Now I guess it's a lot of videos hit 1 billion views, but it's impressive. So you're saying that the Spider-Man movie hit 1 billion views in the trailer when the Avengers Endgame trailer only got a third of that, like 300,000.
Yeah, I think Endgame got like somewhere around 350 million views. You guys can look it up, but yeah, the Spider-Man movie, it's like it got an incredible amount of collective
So
views.
your point is superhero hype is back.
People are in, and don't forget the last Spider-Man movie almost made $2 billion. This could potentially be the first like $3 billion Spider-Man,
That's crazy.
and be like I think maybe the second. Because I'm trying to remember. Didn't the first Avatar? Is it over $3 billion?
I remember it made a crazy amount of money, and I think Avengers was the first one to break it or get close. I don't quite remember.
Yeah, I forget, but
but it was a big deal.
But anyways, this Spider-Man movie's making over $2 billion. I'm calling it now.
All right.
This is going to make over $2 billion, and it looks awesome. I love seeing Bruce Banner in there, and Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. And again, if you guys aren't caught up on Daredevil: Born Again, get yourselves caught up, please. Oh man, I want to give flowers to the Marvel movies during the down period that actually were really great. Like, I actually love Wakanda Forever. I know that they had this crazy impossible situation where, of course, unfortunately, Chadwick Boseman passed away, and they're like, well, how do we move on without him? And I thought that, given that scenario, I thought that they did an excellent job with that movie, and introducing Namor and everything. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was also fantastic, during that time period where everyone said, oh, it's all garbage, but it's... There was actually some great movies in there. Spider-Man No Way Home, was also obviously very good. So anyways, I just thought, I've always been a Marvel fan. It's kind of like being a sports fan, It's like, people are like, oh, I guess I'm not rooting for my team this year.
It's easy to root for your team when they're in the Super Bowl. It's hard when they're not, and I'm totally a bandwagon fan because if the 49ers aren't in the Super Bowl, then I'm like, meh.
It's like, I watch every game,
Ooh, we got another super chat.
Ace Play and Draw says, who do you think Sadie Sink is playing? That's actually a really good question. And thank you so much for your generous super chat. So Sadie Sink is in the Spider-Man movie. I noticed that she wasn't really in this trailer particularly, but she's been in other promotion and leak stuff,
So for somebody like me who has no idea who Sadie Sink is, who is Sadie Sink?
So I forget, Chris, are you caught up on Stranger Things? Have you seen the whole thing?
No, I'm halfway through the show.
Do you remember the character of Max, though? She's the redheaded girl?
Yes, I do remember
That's
her.
Sadie Sink.
Oh, okay. I know who she is now.
Who, again, in the last season...
I saw season 3,
They're
so
all
I remember
supposed
her.
to be 17, even though they're all 25 now,
Yeah.
But anyways, so she's in the Spider-Man movie. And...
Oh, okay.
There is a strong... Because I don't even think Chris knows this, but there is a strong rumor that she's actually supposed to be Jean Grey. The mutant. The X-Men, a young Jean Grey. Which would be really cool because... The movie is obviously dealing with mutation. I mean, you saw... So I just showed Chris the trailer. You see the scene of him, stuck in the spider cocoon, and Bruce Banner's like, your DNA is evolving,
Oh, yeah, you just showed me that trailer.
I can't do the...
Spiders go through 3... I don't know, now he's Christopher Walken.
No,
Spiders go through 3 phases.
So actually, the person in the trailer that says spiders go through 3... whatever that's actually the voice of Keith David who says that spiders go, but we do hear Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo, say he's like, this could be dangerous, Peter, or whatever. I can't do the Mark.
It's close.
His voice is impossible to do. We're not a team, we're a time bomb. That's the one I do the best,
That's pretty good.
From the first Avengers movie. But anyways, he's in the trailer. It's great. So obviously, Peter's DNA is mutating, and anybody who's familiar with the comics or the 90s animated show knows that Peter goes full-blown spider. He just turns into a giant spider.
Dang.
And
So that's why he was waking up in the nest, and he's all confused by that. Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna I think it's gonna be really cool and maybe a little scary because I think he's gonna go full spider in this movie, and with the help of Bruce Banner, he's going to help him get back to just a regular spider level.
Dang, that's crazy. Wow.
Anyways, I'm just really looking forward to it. Anyways, as far as Sadie Sink goes, though, because it deals with mutations, maybe she senses. Remember, because thank you, Xander Brow. Xander Brow, thank you for your generous super chat. Says, little do they know, Spider-Man's final boss is Morganatic from Druids versus the Grail.
And that's a deep cut
Morgana.
for those of you that watched our old YouTube videos. Thank you, Xander Brow.
Yeah. So okay, so here's the quick too long didn't read on Jean Grey. So Jean Grey is a mutant. She has, telekinesis and psionic she's got a lot of different things. She's a telepath. She she can do all of the things that Charles Xavier can do, control people through their thoughts, and then she also has the telekinetic powers, and she also has like space manipulation. When she goes full Dark Phoenix, then she can do a whole lot more. But Jean Grey is probably, and I know that we say this for a lot. Oh, this character. I mean, there's like battles between like Scarlet Witch and Jean Grey, but Jean Grey technically. It's hard to say. I think that it's possible that Jean Grey is the most powerful being in the universe, but she never really knows that until the Dark Phoenix thing, but like you remember the old X-Men movies,
Yeah.
Charles Xavier's like, we had to keep it a secret from her, even though they did that story a little bit wrong, but that's okay. The point is that Jean Grey and you see that there's a moment in the trailer where it looks like there's the old woman that's driving the tank, and she goes and then it goes into that one garden, and he's like smiling, and then his consciousness goes. That has to be Jean Grey.
Okay.
She's the only one that can really like do that kind of shit. So that's maybe or maybe that's a different Spider-Man character, and a lot of people have given other theories to who Sadie Sink could be playing. Like maybe she's a version of May Parker, or like Peter's daughter from another universe. Like a lot of people thought maybe she's playing Tobey Maguire's daughter, but that's really complicated.
So there's a lot of fan theories, basically.
I think that it's. I actually would put money on her being Jean Grey personally, and that would be the coolest, because we're supposed to be getting eased into this mutant saga now, so anyways. But all of that to say, can't wait for Spider-Man. And oh man, if this Spider-Man movie is really good, and I think it will be, then that's just going to hype people up even more for Doomsday. Coming out in December on the same day as Dune 3, aka Doomsday. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to the return of, obviously Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doctor Doom. And then, of course, we've got Chris Evans back as Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
And he's going to be a major part of this movie. Not to mention now we have so many more characters to choose from. Choose your character.
That's pretty good.
And I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
So you feel like this is equaling the heights of Avengers Endgame, potentially better? Hard to say.
So I think that people went into like Avengers Infinity War on a high, right? Because that's like when it was like peak Marvel, the general attitude, right? And then that got people excited for Endgame. But the stakes have never been higher than they are now. Marvel's just waiting for everyone to get on board with that, because in Marvel history, the original like old Secret Wars comics were some of my favorites, and then the 2015 kind of redo Secret Wars line might be at least my top 5, but might be my favorite comic line of all time.
Wow.
The Hickman 2015.
That's impressive.
Secret Wars. I'm really looking forward to whatever they do with this movie. I can't wait for Battle World and things to clash and X-Men killing Avengers and vice versa. Everybody just trying to vie for their planet to survive, Like, it's going to be crazy.
We just got another super chat from Xanderbrow. Did you want to read that one?
Xanderbrow, thank you so much again. Says, was watching the trailer and just thought, oh, yeah, this is going to be Nacho Varga backstory. So, thank you again for your generous super chat.
Thank
Xanderbrow. Sorry, I'm my brain.
Nacho Varga.
Nacho Varga. One moment, please.
I will just admit I don't know who Nacho Varga is. Xanderbrow, who's Nacho Varga? I'm not a big comic book fan, so I don't know if that's a reference. Oh, Better Call Saul? Is that what he's saying?
No. Yeah. So Nacho Varga is a character from Better Call Saul, played by Michael Mando, who is playing the Scorpion in the Spider-Man movie.
I
So,
see
yeah,
what
I've-
you did
so,
there,
yeah,
Xander
so
Brow.
I
Thank
was
you
confused
and
'cause
well played.
I've actually never watched Better Call Saul. I've
Whoa.
seen Breaking Bad, but I've never
Oh,
watched
dang.
Better
I
Call
watched
Saul.
the first season. It was pretty good. But then I didn't watch anymore.
So yeah, Nacho Varga is a character played by Michael Mando who's playing the Scorpion, and you see him in the trailer for a second when he's like, "Stay out of my way," and this big scorpion tail knocks Peter away.
Yeah.
And it's funny, he was actually teased at the very end of Homecoming, the first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, in the prison where he was like showing off his little scorpion
That's
tattoo.
right, yeah.
And then we forgot about him for a while, and now they're finally bringing him back to do this.
So
I love Spider-Man.
I was going to say, speaking of Spider-Man, and I'm out of the loop, so I don't know if this is common knowledge or not. Are there officially going to be any more Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield films? Did I see a rumor about Spider-Man 4? Is that real or is that fake?
I don't know.
Do we know? Do we
Probably
not know?
not. But it's heavily rumored that actually Avengers Doomsday will open with Wolverine fighting Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Whoa. Okay, that's cool.
So, again, everybody's in this movie.
Everybody's coming back.
Although James Marsden said that Hugh Jackman's not in the movie, but Andrew Garfield swore to God that he wasn't going to be in Spider-Man, and then he was in Spider-Man.
So they always
I don't
like
believe
to
anybody
They always
anymore.
like to say they're not and then go, surprise, actually we are.
Yeah, so in whatever happens, I think that I'm just really excited to see like people like Ian McKellen on screen with like Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom, like Magneto versus Doom, like battle, like or whatever. I don't care. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And you said this comes out in December.
December, yeah,
And it's the same day as Dune 3.
that's correct.
And Rich did you want to say what this reminded you of from a few years ago?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's just like Barbenheimer, except not at all. Because the difference is that those two movies complemented each other since like Barbie was like, oh, kids can go see Barbie, but then Oppenheimer's like very much for adults. I feel like Dune 3 and Avengers Doomsday are kind of
both
like
more serious adult films.
they're kind of
Yeah.
more hitting the same type of audience, although as Robert Meyer Burnett would say, Dune 3 is like more the thinking man's, sci-fi, versus the more like 4-quadrant film that Avengers Doomsday will try to be.
So I'm guessing you will see Doomsday first and then Dune 3.
See, that's a tough call. I mean, I'm going to have to somehow try to see both in the same day.
Or you could literally, depending on if you're seeing the midnight or the day, you could like see one, take a break, and then immediately go see the next one. Is that probably the plan?
I don't know. I
Or-
once saw Star Wars Episode 3 like 3 times before going to bed that night.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Way back in 2005. Oh.
Crazy. Good times. Well, long story short,
We haven't even talked about that. We got a Star Wars movie coming out in a
Oh.
month called, Mandalorian and
Oh,
Grogu.
I forgot about
and, like,
that.
nobody's talking about it at all for some reason.
I think because we all got used to that being a TV show, it's kind of like, wait, it's a movie? It's not just a
it's
TV
like,
show?
that is the main complaint is that it feels like it's going to be just an extension of the show. And yes, it is, but I'll raise you this. Star Trek First Contact is one of my favorite movies of all time. Is it a continuation of a TV show? Yes. Does it primarily feature characters and actors from said TV show? Yes. Is it still one of my favorite Star Trek movies? Yes. So
Is it a great movie?
it's a great movie too.
Absolutely,
it's just a great
yes.
movie. I love First Contact.
So your point is, don't judge
Yeah.
a TV show movie. Go in with open expectations.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, people are like, oh, it just feels like the TV show. It's like, okay, but until you see it, maybe don't judge it. I don't know. I actually think it looks awesome, and I can't wait to see it. So, but I always give Star Wars the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes to my detriment, but I always will give Star Wars the benefit of the doubt. I've always been a big Star Wars fan. So
It is an awesome series.
has anything ever been as good as Empire Strikes Back? No, but I don't expect it to, It's like, oh, you mean the movie which is the reason of your love for this entire franchise is never going to be beat? Like, no, but
the best movie ever made hasn't been beaten by the next best movie ever made. Yeah.
that's like saying, like, I don't know, make up another metaphor. It's like, is there going to be another Lord of the Rings movie that's going to be better than Peter Jackson's original trilogy? Probably not.
It's funny that you mentioned that because did you hear that?
Yeah, yeah, no, I love
there's
it. Yeah,
been a lot of there's
we're
been a
actually
lot of
getting
Lord
a
of
lot
the Rings
of Lord of the Rings
stuff
because
coming
we're
out.
getting the Hunt for Gollum, and now they're working on this other sequel, which at least in the synopsis of it, it sounds like it's going to be from
after?
Sam's. It's after Frodo goes away,
Yeah.
and it's Sam's daughter that's like that uncovers the secret of this missing ring story or
Yeah.
something, and it's going to be kind of taking stuff vaguely from the books that they left out of the movie, and maybe we'll actually get some Tom Bombadil in it
That's
this
right,
time.
yeah.
But yeah, I think the cover story, of course, is that Colbert is actually the co-writer, and it's funny because people are like Stephen Colbert. Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, he is
a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
retiring / getting fired
Yeah.
from his position at CBS, and two. He was actually a screenwriter before he started doing
I
like
didn't know
acting
that.
and everything else.
Okay.
So this is not something new for him, and he's long life friends with Peter Jackson. So they're just teaming up and writing a Lord of the Rings script together.
Yeah.
And I think that's great because, I mean, again, Conan hosted the Oscars. And, you know, he seems to be doing all right, but it never really seemed like he got over the hump of his talk show ending. He does, like, podcasts and stuff. And, you know, he's doing good. But I love that, like, instead of just, like, doing another talk show or, like, just going to podcasts, Stephen Colbert's like, no, I'm going back to Hollywood. I'm going to write scripts. Like, I think, good for him. That's what I'm saying.
I guess my thought is the first 3 Lord of the Rings movies were so good. It's my favorite movies of all time.
Now, wait a minute. Frodo didn't die. He just sailed off into the sunset.
I
mean,
it's interesting because in the premise it said after Frodo dies, but you're right. It's like, did he die? I mean,
it's a metaphor.
it's a metaphor.
Over horizons.
Why do the white ghosts
I cannot carry it for you, Mr. Frodo, but I can carry you.
In Lord of the Rings, you know what I was thinking?
I always think
I
so.
can't throw the ring in for you.
But I can throw you.
For those of you that, you guys.
Deep cuts.
Deep cuts, if you know, you know. If Xander Brow's still in the chat, he knows that one. Anyway, or especially Kevin Chamberlain. Anyway, what was my point? Oh, yeah.
Said
my
14
point was,
years after he passed.
I really,
Yes.
there we go. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin says I remember. Good times. My point was, I really liked the first 3 Lord of the Rings movie, and I thought the Hobbit movies were okay. I've only seen them once. I saw each one in theaters. I've never had a desire
Have
to
you
go back and rewatch
watched
them.
the Bullets and Blockbusters video about the Hobbit trilogy?
No.
By the way, if you guys don't know, the funny thing is like I'm obviously the only thing I'm really known for is like this YouTube stuff, but I don't really watch a whole lot of YouTubers. I watch Campia, no, I don't even watch Game Theory anymore because MatPat retired.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
don't care about people that aren't MatPat on there. It's just Campia and then Bullets and Blockbusters. I love Bullets and Blockbusters is like those 10 to 20 minute little editorials. Think like JonTron if there weren't like as many stupid jokes. It was more serious. And they're more
I
like
see. So video essays
Yeah,
about
video essays.
about film lore and reviews.
I think you'd really like him actually, but like he did one on The Hobbit and it went over all of the drama.
There was a lot of. I know there were a lot of
Yeah,
problems
like,
because
it was-
they. I remember. Well, you go ahead.
Guillermo
you'll
del
mention
Toro
someone.
was supposed to direct it because remember Peter Jackson was fighting with New Line Cinema because they didn't pay him all the royalties from Lord of the Rings, and he's like, I'm never doing this with you guys again. He said, I will help a little bit, so he hired Guillermo del Toro, but then del Toro had to leave because the process was taking too long, and then finally New Line just sacked up and paid him what they owe him, but they were like, we still need to make the deadline, so that meant that Peter Jackson only had 3 months before cameras started rolling to prepare his version of The Hobbit. He had to throw everything Guillermo did out of the door because he wasn't going to make somebody else's movie. So he only had 3 months, and that's why there's so much CGI in The Hobbit versus Lord of the Rings because they had 3 years to make the pre-production. Remember, guys, pre-production for the Lord of the Rings trilogy was 3 years. 3 years before cameras ever started rolling, they were making models and they were making all of this. And that's why everything's so practical and good. And it's very CGI light is because they had literal years. A lot of that has to do with the fact that New Line was going bankrupt and they're like, well, we might as well throw money at this. But the point is 3 years versus 3 months. And so like nothing turned out the way that Peter Jackson wanted it to. There was way too much green screen. like things didn't like, and even Ian McKellen broke down on set one day, like
remember hearing
crying, saying like, "This is not what I
and
signed up
remember
for,"
him
and like,
hearing that he was forced. One of the ways that they kind of strong-armed Peter Jackson is there was something about how all the set designers and the costume designers, like they said, if you don't do it by X amount of time, we're going to cancel the project or something, or we're going to fire all your people. So he had a lot of friends and people who had helped on the first film, and he felt like he had to rush it so that they could get paid for their work.
Right.
So anyway, I get what you're saying. So it's not that Peter Jackson got lazy or he just wanted to do a bunch of CGI because he, whatever. You're saying he was rushed because of the studio, and that's why those didn't. They felt like, what was it? Too much butter spread over too little bread. Too many.
Exactly.
You want to too many books, or too few books spread over too many movies.
There was way too much studio oversight, and there was a lot of time constraints, and just a whole mess of problems.
So you think that the next round of movies should be better because he won't be rushed?
I think that there's a lot that they're doing right here. Like with the Hunt for Gollum, obviously Peter Jackson can kind of just step back and supervise, while Andy Serkis actually directs that movie. You know, the Hunt for Gollum, and I think that that's going to be really good. And then anything coming up later, like, you know, who knows what'll happen with this this other Lord of the Rings movie. But I mean, I love Lord of the Rings. I still haven't really gotten around to finishing the Rings of Power because that just feels so separate, you know?
Yeah, I never watched it.
It's not by Peter Jackson or his company.
Peter Jackson, or I can't even say it. Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings, that's it. Nobody else can do it as good.
Yeah, and because it's not connected to the Peter Jackson films, and because they're very limited with what they can use, you know, they have to make a lot of stuff up in the Rings of Power, and sometimes it doesn't work very well. So, you know, again, not my favorite.
I hear you. Well, long story short, there's a lot of stuff coming out, and Lord of the Rings is going to have a lot of new content. Nice.
Exactly.
Well played, All-Star. Well played.
So what's next, Chris?
That pretty much covers all of our topics. So I think we hit it all. Oh, whoa. Hey, we just got another super chat.
My phone's not working. I can't see how many people are watching.
Paul-
Oh, 34.
Paul said, $10 super chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Making
Paul.
a Stupid Mario reference bingo card for the Mario Galaxy movie. So far, I have a tense room of video game executives, any mention of $20, and Mr. Puzzler's snobby laugh.
Mr. Puzzler. You know, that's one of those Stupid Mario deep cuts.
Deep cuts.
Mr. Puzzler.
I do like that idea, Paul, about maybe there's a bingo card of what stupid Mario Bros references could be on there. But I also feel like there could just be a generic bingo card for, like, because I was even thinking, like, Fox saying do a barrel roll. Like,
Do
you
a
know
barrel
that's going to
roll.
happen. But I really hope you're right. I hope that there's a subtle stupid Mario
You're
Bros
becoming
reference.
more like your father.
You know, that you might not be quite sure if it's us or not.
You know,
but.
I really enjoyed pissing people off with the Mr. Puzzler bit. I know people were livid with me after that, but it was funny. And guess what? It was, 15 years ago or something. You know,
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't matter anymore. Now when you watch the show, it's just funny the way that it was supposed to be.
It was funny.
Oh, I gotta wait 7 more days for this thing I'm gonna have for the rest of my life. Oh, I hate you, Rich Alvarez. Like, I mean, now you feel pretty silly, don't you? But I just love that. It's the way that it opens. Like, you've waited 3 months for season 2, but instead here's Mr. Puzzler. You know, like, I still think it's funny. I get it. I make myself laugh, Chris.
That's good.
Peak
That's
comedy.
good.
Yeah, but definitely. I mean, the funny thing is, I say like, oh, if I could go back in time, I would have changed the accents or would have done blah 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 blah. It doesn't matter. It is what it is, and it became what it became, and
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It became what it became, and people enjoyed it because, and this is something I remember somebody pointed out in a comment. There was a massive gap of Nintendo content because remember, there was no Mario movie, there were no Mario TV shows, there wasn't that many good Nintendo stuff in the 2000s.
Party City didn't even have Mario costumes, which is why Chris and I made our own
We had to
costumes
make our
in the
own.
first place.
Yeah.
Now you go into a Spirit Halloween and they got all
Every
the Mario
Nintendo thing,
costumes.
yeah.
There was none of that. There was none of that.
when Nintendo wasn't there for you, we were.
But in
Just remember
retrospect,
that.
I'm glad we made our own costumes because it feels more real.
It does feel more real and iconic, and we're of course very appreciative that you guys were there to watch us over the years. So, and you're still here now, so thank you.
Bing, doo, 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 I know when that popped into my head because just
I
thinking
was
the
thinking
glove on the piano.
I know, yeah, so good. I wanted to play Mario Bros.
Is it Mario Kart?
Mario Bros. On the Super
I messed up.
Nintendo.
I forget lyrics to my own songs.
But
I
there's
forget lyrics
games.
to real songs all the time.
It's okay. It's all there on YouTube.
But the one I'll never forget the lyrics from Confessions by Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh my gosh.
These are my confessions. Just that I thought I said all I could say. I thought of some more things that should scare you away. These are my confessions. Trick my mind one more time, silly me. I guess I gotta give you part 3 of my confession.
Is that the one where he's making the joke about when
The
I
Rice
said
Krispies, yeah.
Dude, that you want to say the joke because we quote it all the time.
Remember when I told you at breakfast that we were all out of Rice Krispies? Well, what I really meant to say was there was only enough left for me. Sorry.
I don't know. Every once in a while, there's something that will just become an inside joke for us, and we'll just quote that all the time. So good. Good times. Wow. I think we've hit most of the topics. I guess. Do you guys have last call for super chats? You guys have been very generous over this live stream. So if you have any other important questions or comments, now's your time to get a super chat in.
This is gonna be the hardest thing I think I've ever had to do. Gonna tell you everything that left at parts 1 and 2. Like remember that time that I saw Polly Shore. That's a lie. I don't know what I said that for. Borrowed your nose trimmer from you without asking. I borrowed your toothbrush too. And by the way, your diamond ring is cubic zirconium. I killed your goldfish accidentally, just replaced it with another one.
Trip is saying we missed a super chat. Was it it might have been a YouTube member thing because it might not be showing up on our chat.
Oh,
wow. We just got a super chat without a comment from
Adachi44 left us a $20 super
we'll
chat.
say thank you for that $20.
Thank you so much, but there's no question associated with it.
Adachi, if you had a question, you're welcome to throw it in the chat. I don't know if you don't have a question, then just thank you for the kind super chat.
We don't get my projector here isn't putting up the channel
member
member
chats?
chats. I'm trying to refresh the
maybe
chat on
pull it up
my
on your
end
phone?
because I will get it on my phone.
Yeah, if whoever, by the way, Adachi says the price says enough. $20.
Thank you, Adachi.
Thank you, Adachi.
$20.
Whoever did the super chat earlier that we missed, I'm assuming it was a member, so put it in if we missed it, just in text.
And bottom barrel
Budget Films
1854 says, old fan since season 2. Glad you guys are still friends. Thank you for your generous super chat.
Thank you, Bottom Barrel.
I love bottom barrel
Budget Films.
It's pretty good.
That is pretty good. 1854.
1854.
Yep, still friends after all these years.
What about side by side with a friend?
I could do that.
Okay. Damn, my chat's not. If we missed your chat, did anybody see what the chat was? It was probably a channel member chat. If anybody saw it, please let me know.
Copy and paste it. Somebody put it in the chat. And apologies to whoever sent the member chat, but thank you to everybody who is a member. We really do appreciate you supporting our channel.
Someday we'll have member-only content. We've had member-only content before. It's hard to keep up with that. Maybe some of the sillier things that I do, where I'm just like, this would be a funny video. Maybe those could be member-only.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I can pull it up. Give me a minute. I've got my laptop up over here. We'll find it. We will find it. It will not be missed. Give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah, we are now sans one.
We're digging way back.
Quick, guys! Well, Chris is gone.
Oh, here we go. All right, I found it. It was
it.
from Trips Live, member for 47 months, who said, "Yo, guys, already got tickets for me and the boys to see Galaxy this week. Quick question: would you guys have preferred if they kept Fox a surprise?" What do you think, Rich?
Oh, would I have preferred for Fox to be a surprise?
Yeah.
No. I'm glad that they let us know.
Oh, and you know what? We also missed a member chat from Xanderbrow who said, was watching the trailer and just thought, oh, yeah. Oh, wait, no. Oh, he reposted it. Okay, I see.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I see. Yeah. Sorry, guys. The member chats were being funky. I'm scrolling back just to see if we missed any. I don't think we missed any other ones. Okay. We're all caught up. If anybody else sends one, I will jump back. But yeah, no, we're every once in a while, the way that we have our setup, like the projector, it doesn't show the super member super chats, but we got them. We got them. So thank you again for those who put it in. But yeah, Trip, we very much appreciate you being a member along with everybody else. And also Xanderbrow, thank you for your member chat. And sorry that you had to double post it, but
We're
you guys
sorry.
are
Sorry.
awesome. Sorry.
That's good.
So South Park, the oil spill.
Oh, here we go. Here we
Okay.
go. Oh, and we looks like we just got another super chat from Silver Phantom X. My phone's a little ahead of
Oh,
the...
was it a little?
It's just a
animation?
little guy like
Little
giving us a
coffee
cup
or
of
something?
coffee.
Aw.
Thank you, Silver Phantom X.
Thank you.
It might pop up there in just a second.
It's because I remember that used to also happen with StreamYard when we had StreamYard up. It wouldn't show. It wouldn't show some of them.
there.
Oh, hey, the Gray Link has also returned as a member. Thank you for being a member.